Welcome to Playdates Episode 3. I'm Mark Maya.
And I'm Brittany.
And this is
Boardgame Coffee.
Let's do this. Alright, now in this episode of Playdates, we are actually talking about a play date between me and my lovely missus. And it could be you and your lovely missus, or Mr., or whatever. We've had episodes about how to help work your partner, or work them in, or convince them, or coerce them into this hobby that we love. We've done that. We've also talked about double dates and how do you do that in this time of crisis where we're all locked down and can't see each other. But this time, it's personal. This time we're just talking about us, right?
Date night.
One-on-one date night. And the Kosmos adventure games are perfect for date night. So here on the table, we have the only two I think that are available up until now, up to this date. As of this recording, it's only Monochrome Ink and The Dungeon. Those are the only two available.
Because if there were more, they would be on this table.
Yes, they would be. So let me give you a quick rundown on what these games are. These games are both choose your own adventures, but they're both set in two different settings. One is the medieval past, walking through a dungeon. The other one is this present day giant corporation where you're kind of like skulking through their buildings in the middle of the night as like thieves. So those two very different themes. The dungeon one is slightly simpler. I think that's why the ages on this one I believe are 12 plus and that's 16 plus. But
and the content is a little bit lighter.
Yeah, it's a little darker.
This one's a little darker.
Yeah. They do some nasty things in that. So, yeah, not crazy.
Yeah.
But this is a lot lighter for sure. They play in about 3 hours, and you can separate it. You don't have to play it in 3 hours in one go. You can have sessions. So you can play it as like episodes. Play one chapter, and it's a clear cut when the chapter ends, and it'll tell you, hey, you can stop right now and then continue. And they've got this whole process on how to put things away in baggies, and so you can come back and continue your adventure where you left off. Mm-hmm. But if you're like us, you won't stop.
Keep playing.
You just keep playing until it's over. Now, this is also a 1 to 4 player game, but we've only experienced it as 2, and
we loved it.
I don't know if I want to play this with 4. Like, we could. It would be still a great game. I don't think it diminishes the game, but I really like what it does for us as a couple, like our couples night or date night. It's such a personal little adventure cooperative thing. It's such a nice thing to do.
It really did feel like we had gone out on like a date night, even though we were, sitting in our living room in front of the fireplace, kind of playing this, drinking a bottle of wine. I felt like we went out.
It was like a night at the movies, but we got to partake in the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
So the designers, Phil Walker Harding and Matthew Dustin, knocked this one out of the park.
These ones.
I cannot wait for them to make more of these games.
Yeah, and Phil and Matthew, if you want to like throw us like a prototype,
we would be happy to play
test them out on us. I say on us. Yes. we definitely say yes.
They do an excellent job with the storytelling. I have to admit, just the visuals that you're getting as you're reading through the story is just wonderful.
Oh, you mean like the way?
You're getting visuals here as well, but the way that they explain the story.
Oh, you're talking about like the visuals what they
explain
put into your brain
exactly
with their words of storytelling.
And I think the app really helps with that.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: out of the box, you can play this. And you use this book to reference everything you do. Because all these little cards that you see here, they're all rooms. And they all have these little numbers on them. And the numbers, there's like a number by the window. So if you want to look at the window, you type in like 801. And then you go to the book, you'd read that, and then you'd get options. It's like, oh, you're looking at the window. So do you want to spit out the window? Or do you just want to call out for your mom? Those aren't options, but that's the kind of thing. And then you pick whatever one you want to do. You type in the number, you look up the number. But if you have the app is where the magic is, right? Because in the app, which is excellent, and it's free to download. It's a Kosmos app. It's not specific for either game. It's like a Kosmos app, and then you look which game you have and just download the contents for that game. Great tutorials also. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. You start your story, and there's like a story start number. So you type that in. And then a narrator reads it to you.
You wake up from an uneasy sleep and search around in the dark, your eyes wide open.
And then you start your adventure. And then, as my example, if I did go to the window, instead of looking up 801, which is the number on the window, I would just type it into the app. They read the story, and then they give you the options. Like, all right, you are looking out the window. If you want to spit out the window,
or
go to page 803.
Or if you're looking at the window and there's a bar like this, it might wiggle.
Yeah. So they'll give you a little suggestion. It's just like
they hint at things, and then you're like, I wonder what that will do. And maybe like 5 rooms later, you find something that might connect back to something else, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, and that's really good because the whole choose your own adventure aspect of this in this cooperative state is you can't math this out and be like, okay, if we do this and this and this, that's the most perfect thing we can do, because you don't know what's happening. Like, you might look in a grate or lift a pillow or set something on fire. And you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to turn on this fire. And none of those things actually some of those things do. But I don't recall setting anything on fire. But you do those, and then you see what happens. Like, you have to do it to see what happens. You have no idea. And as you experience things, you might actually find items as well. And the items are in these cards. So you can find items, and these items might be like a crystal. And then later down the road, like Brittany said, you might find a door that requires a crystal. So then you put the crystal in the door and the door unlocks. You're like, ooh. But if you didn't grab the crystal, you might be like, wait a second. Wasn't there a collection of crystals 3 rooms ago? So then you run back to the room.
Yeah.
And you go like, I'm going to get the crystal. And you run back. And then you get that little bit of that spark of adrenaline. You're like, yes, we got it. Now, if you're familiar with the exit games, those are big puzzles, big complex puzzles. And you spend a lot of time on one puzzle trying to figure it out. And they feel good when you get them, but you spend more time. There's less puzzles, they're more complicated, you spend more time. Where here, the reward system is like every 20 to 30 seconds. And I like the combo system.
Yeah, I like the combo system too.
So,
it's really cool.
If you get 2 items, and the example they use in the book without ruining anything, you find like a can opener. And then you also find like a can of cat food. And if you combine those items, which you can, you type in a code by combining those, and it'll say, you open the can of cat food, throw out the 2 other cards. You put the other 2 cards in the box. So now, instead of having the 2 cards, you have 1 card that's an open can of cat food. And then you can take that open can of cat food and you're like, wait a second, there was a cat under the bed in room 4. And they're not called room 4, there's actually names for the rooms.
Yeah.
But you go to the room, and then you're like, hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. And the cat comes out, and he's got like a wad of money attached to his tail or something. You don't know what it is, right? It could be anything. But actually, I don't recall that situation's never come up in any of these.
That's why it's an example in the book.
Yeah. But the story is very different between the 2 of these.
Very.
Right. We really enjoyed
both are great.
Both of them. This is the first one we played, and this is probably the one we'd recommend to play first.
To start with, yeah.
The dungeon was really good. And I gotta say, like, the first time we played, we didn't know.
We didn't know what to expect or how to really play. So
yeah, we started. It was like 9:30, and we were like, okay, let's give this a go. And Brittany's like, I'm tired.
Oh, I did not want to play. And you're like, let's sit down and play. We can open a bottle of wine. I'm like, oh, I have 1 glass, and then I want to go to sleep. I was really tired, and boy, was I wrong. I got into this game within 2 minutes, and then we ended up playing all the way through. It was a late night, but totally worth not sleeping.
Yeah, and it took us less than 3 hours, because I know the playtime is suggested. This is actually one of the few games where they suggest, hey, it's 3 hours, and we played it less than 3 hours. Because usually if a game says 45 minutes, we're playing it for like 3 hours.
So true.
But yeah, so it plays so smooth, and it's easy, and you read the rules, and you're like, there's not enough information here to play this game. But there is.
There is.
Because you learn as you go. The cards tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. It's great. We love them both. We can't recommend these games enough.
Mm-hmm. So thanks for joining us. If you've tried these games, let us know in the comments below. If you haven't, let us know what you think.
Yeah, you need to try these. Go try them. Oh, there's a new one coming out. Something about lava and volcanoes. We just saw that before we started recording.
Oh, I don't even need to know the theme. I'm in.
I'm in, yeah. Cosmos, we want all of them. Do more.
Do more of these.
Phil and Matthew, you need to make more of these faster. I'm sorry. I appreciate your hard work. But really, I think you're wasting too much time sleeping. We need these. Okay. Thank you. All right. That is it.
Bye. We'll see you soon.
See ya.